Now, normally I would start these things with a pithy comment or a nice hot golden fried slice of cynicism, but I'm not going to do that. The last few days in wrestling have been really great. I think they've delivered on pretty much anything we could have expected them to, and the Royal Rumble was one of the best I've ever seen, and it just feels really nice to say all that. But this is still wrestling, so now that it's all gone, we should probably try and work out what it means. We've had titles change hands, new #1 contenders, and despite telling some dork at an airport she wouldn't be there, Ronda Rousey. Which leads us, as ever, to WrestleMania, with the Rumble, Raw and SmackDown all beginning to see the pieces get moved around for the show of shows. What are we actually getting? Well, I'm Adam from WhatCulture Wrestling, and sound that quality content klaxon because I am predicting every single match at WrestleMania 34. Number 13, the pre-show. Actually, you know what? In proper pre-show fashion, here's a member of WhatCulture's undercard to talk you through it.
Ah yes, the pre-show. Let's have ourselves a little chat about that one, because Adam Cleary definitely didn't forget to talk about that the first time round. So for starters, we're probably going to have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, or the ATGMBR for short, and that definitely didn't take more than one take. That's probably going to include the likes of Jinder, Wyatt, Ziggler, Elias, Matt Hardy, to name a few. And yeah, it'll be what it always is, something dumb, and maybe we'll get another celebrity in like the Gronk last year. Who knows? Then, simply by looking at where WWE's priorities are lying at the moment in terms of storylines they're telling and things they're building towards WrestleMania, we're probably going to end up with 2 title matches on the pre-show, most likely the US title and the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Now, granted, that might seem like a big deal, but these are the only 2 sets of titles that don't really have a logical story building towards them. And if you look at last year, Dean Ambrose was on the bloody pre-show with the Intercontinental title of all titles, so obviously this isn't a big deal for WWE. Going to our heads, we probably think it's going to be the Bar versus the Revival in the Raw Tag Team title match, and wouldn't I love to see Revival win that after the shit they put up with on Raw 25, but that's a whole other story. And on top of that, Bobby Roode is probably going to defend against someone along the lines of Baron Corbin maybe. I mean, that seems like it would fit, doesn't it? Anyway, enough of that rubbish. It's time to go back to the main card and back to all the excitement of A-List Adam when he talks about WrestleMania 34.
Number 12, the Cruiserweights. So on SmackDown this week, we got 2 very important things. 1, the appointment of Rockstar Spud, or Drake Maverick, as its new commissioner, and 2, and probably more importantly, the resolution of the championship issue with the launch of a 16-man tournament. Cedric Alexander and TJP defeated Grand Metalik and Tyler Bate respectively this week, while next week we're getting Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami and Kalisto versus Lince Dorado. That is already half of the field. Other names rumoured to be involved in this are obviously people like Akira Tozawa and Jack Gallagher, who are currently on the 205 roster, as well as people like Ricochet, who hasn't yet debuted, Johnny Gargano from NXT, Neville, whose contract status remains unclear, and Rey Mysterio, whose return at the Rumble went down way better than WWE were expecting, but wouldn't actually be available for the opening rounds. So, gun to our heads, we think we might get something similar to the Hardys' return at WrestleMania 33. Someone like Cedric Alexander and Hideo Itami will contest the belt, but Mysterio gets added last minute to a huge ovation. Like, that's way optimistic booking. I appreciate that, but it's one thing I'm going to take from the last week, it's that it's okay to be hopeful again. Number 11, The Miz versus Braun Strowman. Sort of cheating this one, as it's already been reported that this is the direction WWE want to go in for the Intercontinental Championship, but worth a mention nonetheless. Braun will likely dominate the Elimination Chamber before being valiantly slain by poor Roman, and they've done a good job in the last few weeks of separating Miz from the shithousery of the Miztourage to really get him over in ring. Now, I can't see the match itself being all that good, but come on, the build-up, the promos, the little segments they come up with to do together. Mwah! 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 Number 10, Seth Rollins versus Jason Jordan. There is literally nothing else for either of them to do at this point. The decision looks to have been made that Kurt Angle wouldn't be up for a singles bout. Nobody wants to see them in another tag team titles match, and it's probably too late to set Rollins up with anybody else. So, there you go. Number 9, the Usos versus Rusev Day. Put simply, the Usos have been so dominant on SmackDown, there is nobody else to really put them with. I mean, the Bludgeon Brothers don't even appear to be in the conversation, they probably won't heat up the feud with the New Day again, and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin have just had their shot. But did you hear that ovation for Rusev in the Rumble? Rusev Day is so over that there was even like a mid-level amount of booing for Aiden English's elimination. Like, let's put that in context. The Shield returning haven't got Roman over, but Ruru's dancing pecs have somehow given Aiden English a rub. That is incredible. Give them the tag team title match and give us all a heroic win soundtracked to 75,000 Rusev Day chants, please. Number 8, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Presuming, as we're being told, we're no longer getting Rousey versus Charlotte at the Rumble, then the SmackDown Women's match needs a marquee event, and certainly not the 5-minute mess it was given last year to enable everybody to get the beers in before Reigns versus Taker. Now, I'm going to be optimistic here and believe that they will build towards a big singles bout, and if they do, then Charlotte versus Becky is absolutely the one to do. They're the two best wrestlers on the brand, their chemistry both in and out of the ring is fantastic, and it isn't a match we've seen on pay-per-view since the Royal Rumble 2016, I think. I'm just not sure which one of them you turn heel. Unless you don't. And that's okay. I'm Simon Miller. Number 7, Balor Club versus the New Day. There's literally nothing else for them to do, and all 6 of them are too good to waste, so yeah, that's about as much logic as I can apply to that one, but I did run it past everyone in the office and it got this face. So yeah. Number 6, Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon versus Sami Zayn with Daniel Bryan. Despite all of our hopes, we should probably resign ourselves to the fact now that they're never actually going to let Daniel Bryan do another match in WWE. But, A, they do need a payoff to his feud with Shane McMahon, and B, it looks like they're going to split Zayn and Owens. So, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Of course you are, you're not an idiot. You have Bryan versus Shane for control of SmackDown, all done through the magic of another Zayn versus Owens match. I would probably have Zayn with Bryan, as their face characters are quite similar, but either works, to be honest. Oh, and you get this huge moment of Shane going to do a bit of interference, but Bryan cutting him off with a nice low risk, zero impact, doesn't need insurance for yes lock. Huge pop. Everybody wins. Number 5, Banks versus Asuka. Now, my t-shirt aside, the only credible, believable, and interesting opponent for Asuka at WrestleMania isn't Sasha Banks. It's a heel Sasha Banks. She was given a huge spotlight in the Royal Rumble, amassing a 55-minute run, and got to have really good altercations with Trish, Bayley, and even Asuka herself. Plus, they kept teasing that old, mean boss persona. My girl Alexa has had a great run with the belt, but given that her character is just a cowardly heel, nobody really wants to see that up against Asuka at WrestleMania. But if they go all in on Sasha Banks' dark side, having her completely destroy Bayley in the Elimination Chamber, for example, she's a credible threat to end that winning streak, and that's what you need for the match. Number 4, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Obviously, Stephanie McMahon's going to find herself a way to get some of that sweet Rousey spotlight, and yeah, fair play to her. If I could boil that much piss and get away with it, I absolutely would. A tag match makes the most sense at this point, as it'll disguise Rousey and obviously Steph's in-ring limitations at the moment, and with Triple H being the only conceivable partner for Steph, we need someone for Rousey who can be built into that storyline very easily. Enter Kurt Angle. Now, they've teased tensions with him and Stephanie for a long time now, but more to the point, he's a logical and interesting opponent for Triple H. Now, don't get me wrong, this would be a mess, a huge mess, but I can still see them doing it, and I do quite want to see it. Number 3, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Now, this one is admittedly already in the bag, but I just wanted an excuse to say it again. We're getting AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Yay! Number 2, John Cena versus The Undertaker. John Cena will not be in the championship pictures going into WrestleMania, but every single media source still reports he's getting a huge match on the show. So, Unless they're bringing The Rock back, what the else could we be getting? I can't pretend I'm overly excited about this prospect. I mean, I love The Undertaker more than you will ever truly understand, but I just want him to sit in a nice, comfy chair now and reflect on a career and a life well spent. I was at WrestleMania last year. I saw him wrestling Roman Reigns with my own two eyes, and it was ugly. It was like my DMs ugly. That said though, Big Match John with enough smoke and mirrors could maybe drag the pair of them to something approaching a watchable match, but yeah, I just know. But if WWE have got their heart set on it, the quality of it won't bother them one bit. It'll look good on a poster, so prepare yourselves. Number 1, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. It's just happening, isn't it? That's all there is to it. It's happening. They want it. We're getting it. It'll probably be okay. I'm sorry. So there you have it. That is every single match we think is going to happen at WrestleMania 34, except for the pre-show. Obviously, God, who would have the time? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I've been Adam from WhatCulture Wrestling, and I'll see you soon.
Manchester, February 18th and 19th. Defiant Wrestling returns to the Bowlers Exhibition Center. See Defiant Wrestling Champion, The Truth, Austin Aries. General Manager Stu Bennett, formerly known as Wade Barrett. Plus, the Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray. Leader of the Curb Crawlers, Martin Kirby. The Renegade, Mark Haskins. Liverpool's #1, Zach Gibson. The Iron Man, Joe Coffey. David Starr, Jern Simmons, Primate, and Rampage. Suitable for all ages. Tickets from just £15 at wearedefiant.com.
So that was our video. Thank you for watching. Please do feel free to click on anything happening around my head, or something terrible might happen to this dog. Is that you too sweeting me, bro? Ugh. Disgusting. That's really bad.